Hey, English learners, welcome back to English with Emily and James, a warm, friendly space where you can learn English in a relaxed way and make your everyday life a little more interesting. Today, we're going to help you break the ice and ease one of the most common fears we all face speaking English.
And I'm James. We're really happy that you're spending time with us again today. Maybe you're feeling a bit tired after a long day. Or maybe you're intentionally procrastinating on that to-do list waiting on your desk. But don't worry. Listening to our podcast is the healthiest form of procrastination.
At least you're avoiding your work in a smart way. In English, laughs. Everyone wants to be a little lazy sometimes, but being lazy while still making progress, that's elite.
Exactly. If you're going to be lazy, listening to an English podcast is the classiest choice. You get to relax and improve at the same time. Some studies even suggest that listening to podcasts regularly can improve listening skills and vocabulary by 20–30%.
Totally true. You may be avoiding work for a moment, but your English is secretly getting better every day. James, by the way, you seem unusually energetic today. Anything exciting going on? Come to think of it, for someone who usually complains about avoiding work, you sound surprisingly alert and full of energy today. What happened? Did you drink a whole cafe's worth of coffee, or did you drink the barista too? Laughs.
Haha, surprised. It wasn't coffee today. I actually did something extremely rare for my personality. I replied to a message without overthinking, editing, or hesitating for 10 minutes. It felt like freedom for the first time in my life.
What? No overthinking. That's international breaking news. You're usually the king of hesitation.
True. Normally I type one word, reread it, delete it, type again, check grammar, vocabulary, even punctuation, especially when texting in English. Once I spent 25 minutes just to send the message, "See you tomorrow." But this morning, I decided to change. I picked up my phone, hit the voice record button, said a short message, and sent it immediately. In my head, I just thought, done. Not perfect, but at least it's real, it's me speaking. And, you know what? The other person replied instantly, and even said, my voice sounded natural.
I relate to that so much. I also get stuck in the write, delete, rewrite loop all the time. Sometimes I end up sending nothing at all because I'm afraid of making mistakes or sounding silly. Once I spent 40 minutes writing a message to my crush in English and then didn't send it.
Exactly. So much thinking that it becomes exhausting but almost no speaking at all. Science calls this analysis paralysis, which means overanalyzing until you're unable to take action.
And I'm sure many of our listeners experience the same thing with English. They think of dozens of perfect sentences in their heads, but when it's time to speak, silence. It's like the brain suddenly hits a mute button.
That's it. Your mind is full of ideas and sentences, but your mouth is completely muted. And today, that's exactly what we're focusing on. How to turn that mute button off.
Because this episode isn't about dry grammar lessons or test-taking tricks. We're talking about that moment when your brain is working at full speed, but your voice shrinks and completely disappears.
I know that feeling all too well. Many times I've asked myself, how many chances to practice speaking have I missed just because I stayed silent for too long? Once at a bar, I wanted to start a conversation with a group of foreigners, but instead, I sat there holding a glass of water for 2 hours.
Today's topic really hits close to home for both of us. That's why we named this episode Stop Thinking, Start Speaking, because we've both been victims of overthinking ourselves.
Together, we'll find ways to calm that noisy room inside your head and encourage you to actually use your English voice in everyday life, even if it's just a few tiny sentences.
We'll share real stories from our own experiences, simple ideas, and very small but effective steps. The goal is to make speaking English feel as natural as chatting with a close friend, not like sitting in a speaking exam.
But before we dive deeper, we have a small favor to ask. If you enjoy this relaxed, friendly way of learning with us, please like this episode and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. Your small action helps many other English learners discover the English Leap podcast.
And we truly look forward to your comments. Just write one simple sentence, for example, I'm Min from Vietnam. A situation where I overthink and stay silent is when we read every comment and reply as much as we can.
We read every single comment and deeply appreciate your stories. They help us understand your lives and the challenges you face when learning English. And sometimes they even inspire future episodes.
Plus, when you write a comment in English, even a short one, your brain has to work choosing words, organizing sentences, and checking them again. That's real practice, not just passive listening anymore.
Awesome! Now, before we move on to the stories and tips, let's quickly talk about today's level. This episode is designed for B1 intermediate learners.
That means this content is designed for learners who already have a solid foundation and want to go further. The English we use is clear, natural, and simple, but still thoughtful and engaging, like sitting at a cafe and chatting with friends.
It's not that flat, childish English, but it's also not super advanced English, packed with complicated vocabulary. It sits right in the middle, challenging enough to help you grow, but still very approachable.
And if you're a strong beginner, don't feel shy. You can absolutely keep up and learn a lot from this episode. We speak slowly and clearly so everyone can follow along.
That's right. Today's episode is safe and friendly for all levels. It helps you gently step into the intermediate stage without pressure.
No matter where you are on your English learning journey, just relax, get comfortable, and learn with us. You might even laugh more than usual.
And since both of us are kind of vocabulary nerds, laughs, in this episode, we'll highlight some useful and interesting words and phrases. We'll explain them naturally right in the conversation.
Toward the end, we'll also have a calm, slow-paced vocabulary tour. We'll take a deep breath, review each key word, and give easy-to-remember examples, so stay with us until the very last minute.
All right, let's get started. Emily, you go first. Do you remember a moment when you wanted to speak another language, but your brain suddenly completely shut down?
Oh yes, crystal clear, laughs. I was once in a cute little bakery abroad. Before going in, I practiced my question over and over again. Hi, could I have that chocolate cake, please? Sounds simple, right?
That sounds extremely simple.
Yeah, simple until it was my turn at the counter. The shop owner looked at me and said a long sentence very quickly in the local language, and instantly my brain felt like someone unplugged it. All my vocabulary and sentences disappeared. I completely froze.
Just like when the Wi-Fi suddenly cuts out, right? That same panic feeling?
Exactly. 1 second my brain was on 5G, the next it was a black screen. My heart was pounding like I'd just run a marathon.
So, what did you do?
I stood there frozen, holding this tiny paper bag, stuttering. Hello, cake, this, please, and pointing like a lost child. Laughs hard. It sounds terrible, but looking back now, it's actually pretty funny.
But honestly, that was still successful communication. You got the cake, didn't you?
I did, and the most surprising part was that she smiled so warmly, not judgmental at all. She wrapped the cake carefully and even said, "Enjoy" in English. I felt relieved and embarrassed at the same time.
But inside, you were probably dying of embarrassment.
Oh, absolutely. Embarrassed to the point of wanting to disappear into the ground. When I left the shop, I scolded myself. Emily, you've studied for so long, how can you not even say one simple sentence? I walked back to the hotel with my face burning red.
That feeling is incredibly familiar to so many people. Anyone who learns a foreign language has experienced this.
Exactly. You memorize everything, understand podcasts perfectly, but when you step into real life, your mouth suddenly forgets everything. James, you've had a moment like that too, right?
Definitely. During a video call with native-speaking colleagues, I had prepared my ideas, even rehearsed them perfectly in my head in English. I thought I was going to sound impressive.
Perfect in your head, but what about out loud?
Out loud. Total disaster. When they called my name, my brain turned into a chaotic marketplace. Grammar, vocabulary, fear everything, shouting at once, no way out. In the end, all I managed to say was, "Yes, I agree," even though I had a long, detailed analysis in my head.
After the call, you must have felt so much regret.
I really did. I kept asking myself, why didn't I have the courage to say what I actually thought? I even beat myself up about it for a whole week afterward.
And that's the core problem. Most of us already have good English inside us. The issue isn't a lack of knowledge, it's overthinking. It's like a troublemaker living in our heads.
Today, we're not just talking about vocabulary or sentence structures. We're talking about how to calm that chaotic room inside your mind, so your voice can finally come out freely.
I think the root cause often starts with fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of being seen as the foreigner who speaks badly. Some people are even afraid of being laughed at in front of others.
When I was younger, I was always afraid my classmates would laugh if I mispronounced a word. Over time, that fear sank deep into my subconscious. Once I mispronounced the word schedule, and the whole class burst out laughing. After that, I became afraid to speak.
And judgment doesn't always mean someone openly saying, "Your English is terrible." Sometimes it's just a brief look or a moment of silence, but your brain exaggerates it into, "They think I'm awful." Your brain turns into a super strict teacher always ready to criticize.
Speaking of teachers, I still clearly remember a class back at school. One student answered in English and made just a tiny mistake. The teacher corrected them with a cold tone. The whole class giggled. From that day on, that student almost never raised their hand again. That memory still haunts me to this day.
Many of us have similar memories, a harsh correction, a careless joke, a look from someone, and from that moment on, our brain concludes, speaking is dangerous. Staying silent is safer. A single small moment can stay with us for years.
Exactly. And then there's perfectionism. Perfectionism makes you believe that if you can't say the perfect sentence, it's better not to say anything at all. Some learners even set the rule that they must sound like a native speaker before they dare to open their mouth.
You wait for perfect grammar, good vocabulary, accurate pronunciation, a nice accent. But while you're waiting for that perfect sentence, the conversation has already moved on. The opportunity disappears in seconds.
It's like standing at a bus stop, constantly judging, "This bus isn't nice enough. Not this one. That one's too old. Not that one either." In the end, all the buses leave, and you're still standing there alone, full of regret.
Many learners tell me I wanted to speak up in a meeting, but I corrected the sentence in my head 15 times. By the time I was ready to talk, the topic had already changed. Some people even miss out on promotions just because they don't dare to speak.
Or at a party, you see a group speaking English. You come up with a good sentence, then edit it again and again, and in the end, you just look down and pretend to scroll on your phone. I've done that at an international party myself, and I still regret it.
I did the exact same thing at a family dinner once. The guests were speaking English. I understood everything, and I even had an interesting comment in my head. But I polished the sentence for too long, and by the time I looked up, the moment was gone. On the way home, I kept thinking, why didn't I just say one simple sentence?
In the end, the problem isn't just English. It's fear speaking. It's old memories speaking. It's perfectionism speaking. and all that noise is drowning out your real voice.
But here's the good news: we can absolutely change. We don't have to wait until fear completely disappears before we speak. We can start even when our hands are still shaking a little. We just start with small steps.
So now, let's explore how to move from thinking to speaking. Starting with the simplest things.
Tool number 1. Use short, simple sentences instead of trying to give long speeches. Don't try to be a TED Talk speaker right from the start.
Many learners try to speak like a textbook, long, fancy, complicated sentences. The result? They freeze. For example, in your head, you think, "I have always been deeply interested in improving my communication skills."
Sounds very professional.
But your mouth panics. Instead, just say, "I want to speak better." Same meaning, way less pressure. Simplicity is the key.
Ask yourself, what's the shortest version of this idea? Instead of "lately I've been feeling quite stressed about my studies," you can just say "studying has been stressful lately." Much easier to say,
That's totally fine. You're talking to a human, not writing a university essay. The listener just needs to understand your idea, not a perfect sentence.
Tool number 2. Start with reaction words. These are short phrases you use to show that you're listening. For example, "Oh, really? That's great. No way, I see. That sounds tough."
These words are small but incredibly powerful. They help you jump into the conversation right away and give your brain a few precious seconds to prepare the next sentence. They work like a bridge that helps you speak more confidently.
For example, your friend complains, "I'm exhausted from work today." You can respond, "Oh, really? That sounds rough." Are deadlines piling up? See, reaction plus a small comment plus a simple question equals a natural conversation. No perfection needed, just be real.
Tool number 3. Prepare a few ready phrases. These are fixed expressions you practice so often that they come out automatically like muscle memory. Think of them as secret weapons in your pocket.
For work or study, examples include, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Can I ask a quick question? I'm not sure I understand this part." For everyday life, "Hi, can I get a coffee, please? Could you recommend something nice? Is there any other option?"
You don't need 50 sentences. Just 5 to 7 can already change your entire day. I personally have a collection of 8 ready phrases that I use all the time and never gets old.
And here's the golden rule: simple and spoken is better than perfect and silent. One short sentence that actually comes out of your mouth is always better than a perfect sentence that stays stuck in your head forever.
Now that we have tools, the question is, where do we practice without pressure?
Let's talk about safe mode, low pressure practice. These are relaxed situations where no one is grading you, there's no test, no evaluation, no one watching closely. A place where you can experiment without fear.
The easiest way, talk to yourself while doing daily tasks. When cooking, "Now, I'm chopping onions. After this, I'll stir-fry the meat. Then, I'll eat and watch an English show. When walking, the weather is nice today. I'm walking to the bus stop. I'm a bit tired, but I'm happy because I'm practicing English every day."
It might feel awkward at first, but over time your mouth gets used to producing English sounds. Many people say that after just 1 week of speaking to themselves, they feel much more confident talking to others.
Another option, send voice messages to a close friend you trust. You can say up front, "Hey, my English isn't great yet, but I'm practicing. Is it okay if I send you short voice messages?" A real friend will be supportive and even proud that you trust them.
Don't have a safe person yet. No worries, you always have a mirror. A mirror never laughs at your accent and never judges you. Some people even record themselves speaking in front of the mirror to watch again and improve.
Stand in front of the mirror and say things like, "Today I feel," "Today I learned," "Today I want to try." Think of it like dance practice. Many people practice choreography alone in their room before stepping onto a real dance floor. English works the same way: private practice first, confidence later.
But there's something even more important than all of that: changing how you talk to yourself.
Many people have a very harsh inner voice. You're stupid. Your English is terrible. Don't speak. It's embarrassing. If you talk to yourself like that, of course you'll be afraid to open your mouth.
So try a gentle shift. Instead of "my English is terrible," say "my English is under construction." It already sounds much more positive.
Under construction means it's not finished yet, but it's improving every day. Instead of "I can't speak, try," "I'm learning to speak more," or even one small sentence is progress.
Progress isn't a big jump, it's small steps forward. Every time you manage to say even one sentence, that's already a win. Treat yourself to a milk tea after completing a small challenge.
So, here's a small challenge for you today. Say one real English sentence. Just one. Say it to someone, to the mirror, or record it for yourself. For example, "I feel a bit nervous, but I want to speak English more." Or, "Today, I listened to a podcast to practice listening and speaking."
Don't wait for the perfect moment. A normal moment is enough. And if you like, go to the comments and finish this sentence. A situation where I overthink and stay silent is when you write it down, you're already bravely facing the problem.
We'll read it, and we'll feel warm. Knowing this, we're not alone on this journey. Together, we'll get through it.
All right, James, before we wrap up, let's do a gentle vocabulary tour. Slow down, take a deep breath, and review a few key words and phrases from today.
Let's start with the biggest one: overthinking. Thinking too much to the point that it blocks action. For example, "I wanted to send a voice message, but I overthought every word and ended up not sending it." Or, "I overthought before speaking in the meeting, so I stayed silent."
Next is mute, silent, no sound. Like when your phone is on mute, you see the screen but hear nothing. We say, "My head is full of sentences, but my mouth is mute." Ideas are there, but no sound comes out.
Then there's perfectionism. Only accepting perfection and refusing to act if there's even a small mistake. For example, "Because of perfectionism, I won't speak unless my grammar is 100% correct." Or, "Perfectionism makes her check a message 20 times before sending it."
A useful phrase: low pressure, relaxed, not stressful. For example, talking to myself while cooking is a low-pressure way to practice English, or sending voice messages to a close friend is great low-pressure practice.
Progress, moving forward step by step. "I still make mistakes, but I understand more now." That's progress. One sentence a day is still meaningful progress.
And my favorite phrase: under construction, like a road or building that isn't finished yet but is slowly taking shape. My English is under construction, meaning it's not perfect yet, but I'm building it day by day, and that's completely okay.
Reaction words. Short phrases that show you're listening. "Oh, really? That's cool. No way, I get it." Sounds tough. Small, but they help you join conversations easily.
And finally, ready phrases memorized. Phrases you can use instantly without overthinking. "Sorry, could you say that again? Can I ask something? Hi, can I have a latte, please?"
When you already have a few sentences like these, ready speaking feels much lighter. Your brain works less. Your mouth moves faster. It's like having a script ready in your head.
And that wraps up our vocabulary tour. If you'd like, you can rewind this part and repeat along with us to help the words stick better.
And remember, you don't have to fix everything in one day. Just one small sentence today is already great progress. Your English is under construction, and that process is beautiful.
Don't let overthinking mute your voice anymore. We're really proud of you because you listened, you reflected, and most importantly, you're trying.
If this episode was helpful, share it with a friend who also tends to overthink and stay silent. Who knows, you might become speaking partners and improve together. Everything's more fun when you do it together.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time here with us.
Keep speaking even if it's just one tiny sentence. You've got this.
This is English with Emily and James. I'm Emily.
And I'm James. Take good care of yourselves. Keep going. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.